I got a question the other day about drop sets. Now, that is something that I have not heard for a very, very long time. What is a drop set? For those who don't know, it's when you are doing a set and you come to the end of a workout, sorry, an end of an exercise. So let's give you an example of a bench press. Okay, do bench press, 100 kilo, 10 reps, you rack it, somebody takes the weight off, maybe 10 kilo aside off, so now you've got 80 in your hands. You do another couple of reps, as many as you can do, you rack it, they take the plate off again, and you do as many as you can do until you are completely burnt out. Hence, the drop set as you're dropping the weight. And the reps are supposed to drop as well, or sometimes the reps can increase because the weight is lighter, but it doesn't really matter. The main point is that you are completely fatiguing your muscle. Are they effective? What are they used for? What is the purpose behind it? And do I use it? Now, I can only give you my personal experience. From when I first started training back in the days during the Flex magazines, Muscle and Fitness, Bodybuilding.com, the drop sets were a big thing, especially from the old Arnold Schwarzenegger days as well, because everybody wanted to make training a little bit more exciting, something a little bit different. Maybe this guy knows something we don't. What method are they using? Are they using time with attention? Are they slowing the muscle down? Are they doing explosive training, drop sets, forced reps, extended sets, all sorts of shit? So it was always a thing where, okay, this is the way to train because it's more harder than training a standard way. But is it more effective? That is the main thing. For me personally, the way I train, my style of training, and I have tried drop sets, they're not that effective for anything. So if you were to try to gain muscle, I don't see how doing a drop set would benefit you in any way. Because when you're training muscle, you are, without getting into it too much, without getting too technical, it's progressive overload for me. I want to pick an exercise. I want to get as strong as possible on that exercise whilst keeping the form and the technique exactly the same. If the form breaks, the technique breaks, or the speed becomes a little bit less, or I'm going off plan or off center, then that means I've hit fatigue, stop the set. Okay? Now with drop sets, you tend to push past that barrier. You tend to just move the weight A to B, go through, the motions. Let's just reduce the weight and let's just keep on fucking pushing. Doesn't matter what's going on. That's what I see when normally people see doing drop sets. That's exactly what I see. They disregard technique and form goes completely out the fucking window. So when I started training and I was doing drop sets, for me, they were just not that effective. And like I said, sorry, without going too far off track, muscle building, I don't see how it's effective, because if you've come to the end of your workout, well, first of all, let me just say this. When you do compound lifts like deadlift, bench press, squats, I would not recommend drop sets 100% because I don't see they offer any value and the risk reward ratio just isn't fucking there. Could you maybe get one or two more reps out if you dropped the weight and extended the set? Of course you could. Would it benefit you? Here's the thing. I don't think it will, and I'll explain. When you are doing a squat, let's say it's a half the weight to try and do as many more reps as you possibly can. Now you're already coming from fatigue because you're coming from a point where you have completely killed yourself at a heavy weight. Now you've reduced the weight and you're trying to do more repetitions. You're just trying to go through the motion. Therefore, you're going to be higher rate of injury. You're going to be more at risk of getting fucking injured. And if you get injured, you're fucked for months, weeks, years. It could be God knows how long, So for me, on the big compound lifts, it's a no-no. Now, when you come down to the lower exercises, I think still, for me, it's progressive overload. That's just my style of training. I don't do anything light. But if I was to ever use it, let's just say I was to ever use it, it would be on something like calves. Because calves are a muscle where you can go through that pain barrier. And if the technique or the setup or the rep speed or whatever is slightly off a touch here and there, it doesn't make much of a fucking difference. You're not going to get injured. In fact, I've never seen anyone get injured on a calf raise. Equally, if you were to do something small like let's say, barbell curl or a seated curl, for example, and somebody was there, you could reduce the weight, then I think drop sets done safely with the single jointed exercises that really small muscles, then I think I wasn't going to say they are more effective, but I think, yeah, they have a place in bodybuilding for that. Powerlifting, no. But also single joint exercises, let's say we were using our hamstrings, a hamstring curl. Now, it's just too much of a large muscle for me to say a drop set would be, something that would be effective for it, and you're going to reduce the risk of injury. No. I think hamstrings, quads, they're way too big muscles. Even sometimes when you're training back, like if you were doing a back row or a barbell row or a machine row, still don't think drop sets are key. Now, if you were to do drop sets and you want to do drop sets, here's how to use drop sets. This is just my way of doing it. I do use drop sets for certain exercises. Let me explain how I do it. Let's pick an exercise so forget the big three, squat, bench, and deadlift. It's a fucking no-no for that. Let's go with, what should we do drop sets on? Okay, a machine row. So we're doing a machine row. We do 10 reps to failure. We're completely fucked. 10 repetitions, that is it. That's the maximum we're able to get. We re-rack the weight. Now, I would reduce the weight by maybe 20%, and I would wait around about 45 seconds to 1 minute to get a little bit of recovery. I know it's not your conventional drop set. A conventional drop set would mean get straight back into it. But the reason I would say you need a little bit of time for recovery is so that you regroup, everything's reset, all the blood is now in your muscle, all the oxygenated blood is in your muscle, everything's getting all the lactic acids kind of being released. Then you grab the weight again and you go for a couple of more repetitions on the row to burn it out, which is, I would say, would be loads more effective than if you were to just leave it and then, let's say, don't give yourself any rest period, grab the weight, start going again. You're not going to be able to get as many repetitions. Therefore, less repetitions with less weight, building less muscle. So if you were to use a drop set method, I would say reduce the weight, wait 45 seconds to 1 minute. That is, I don't advocate this ever, but if you were going to ever time a rest period, that is when I would do it. Time the rest period, 45 seconds, 1 minute, boom, straight in, grab the weight, you're off again. I think that would probably be a safe way to do drop sets. But again, you need to pick and choose where you are using drop sets. This is not something you should use for every single exercise, for every single body part. I don't use them personally. Like I said, seriously, I do not use them. Maybe on calves. Calves are the only thing at the minute in my program where I do use them. I do say to some clients to use them in different exercises, but that's just my take on drop sets. Now, there's far more effective methods to use. Rest pause is a great one, which is kind of how I would say my drop sets are. But with rest pause, you don't decrease the weight. Now, that's another video. I'll explain that at a later time. So that's it really. That's what I would suggest for drop sets. Stay safe when doing drop sets. Don't go crazy. Don't go and do maybe, I would if you're going to do drop set, I would say no more than 3. So you do your first set, which is heavy. You reduce the weight 20-30%, rest about a minute, do the second set, as many reps as possible. Maybe keep 2 reps in the tank. Don't go full burnout, 2 reps in the tank. Wait 45 seconds to another minute, and then do your last drop set. So 3 sets in total on drop set. Don't run the rack, don't do crazy shit like that. If someone's got a camera and you want some YouTube videos or you want some reels for Instagram or something like that, then by all means do some fucking crazy ass workouts. But when you're training every single week, don't do crazy shit like this. And one thing as well I will mention here, okay, as a bonus, never ever do fucking drop sets for shoulders. Because shoulders are something, if you injure your fucking shoulders, you are fucked. That is it. They ain't coming back. To get back from a serious shoulder injury, I've very rarely seen it, if I've ever seen it. When your shoulders are fucked, your rotator cuff's fucked, that's you done. Your lifting career is done. You're always going to have some sort of shoulder pain. You speak to any guys who've had a shoulder injury and you say to them, how did you repair it? Very rarely they fucking got it sorted. They'll have cortisone injections. I know a friend of mine who travels to other countries now just to get the, what do they call it? plasma shots in there and all sorts. Do they work? How well do they work? Who knows? But do we really need to be doing that kind of shit? No. So stay the fuck away from drop sets. Regardless on how you do them, even if the way I've just taught you guys how to do not do them for fucking shoulders. Every other exercise, maybe. Sorry, every other body part, maybe. Not exercise. Not for all exercise, just for the body parts. So that is my take on drop sets. I don't know if I've missed anything out there. If I've missed anything out, please comment down below. Give this a subscribe. Make sure you like it. And if there's anything you guys want to know, if you want me to make videos about other topics like this, please comment down below.